If you've ever had that heavy leg feeling after a really long run, or woken up wondering, how am I supposed to run after yesterday's workout? I totally get it. So in this video, I sat down with my good friend Lexi. She's really into distance running and always training hard for her races. And she's also been recently using compression boots alongside me very consistently just to help her manage with her recovery and leg fatigue. So we'll break down what compression boots actually do, how they help with circulation, my friend Lexi's real world experience as a runner, and whether they're actually worth it for athletes and runners maybe like yourself. Hi, I'm Cam. I've been testing recovery and wellness tools just to find out exactly what works. I try to cut out the fluff and just give you the stuff that's worth your time. So what do compression boots actually do for circulation? The science behind them is called intermittent pneumatic compression. It's just a fancy way of saying air chambers inside the boots inflate in waves, starting from your feet, moving all the way up in a sequence of pressure that mimics your body's own natural way of helping push blood and metabolic waste like lactic acid. It will help push them upward and back towards your heart. So if you've been sitting, standing, or just constantly hammering your legs with lots of training, that stagnant blood flow can eventually start to pool up. So compression boots give your system a mechanical boost. They'll help flush things out and improve what's known as venous return. So I asked my good friend Lexi to break down her training load, what her legs actually feel like after a tough week of running, and then just her overall experience.
Hey guys, my name is Lexi and I am a long distance runner. I fell in love with running over quarantine. There obviously wasn't much going on, so I created a family 15K, and from there we just started training and I fell in love with it ever since. I've run half marathons, 5Ks, I have a goal to complete a marathon. When I'm deep into the training, it's usually about 5 to 6 days a week, and I'm doing all sorts of runs, long runs, intervals, strength days, back-to-back workouts, and all of this has really started to add up fast. My calves, my hamstrings, even up in the glutes. I've even tried recovery days where I might do some easy miles or like a short shakeout, but if the fatigue is bad enough, even that can start to feel like work. I admit, like when I first started working out, I really didn't take care of myself. I was pretty bad at stretching, and one thing I did not do is recovery days or recovery practices. I would just work out, do the run, and then just kind of call it a day. And I noticed like I started to get a lot of injuries, tendonitis, I had runner's knee, shin splints. Your body wants to move, but your legs are just not cooperating. And it's not just the soreness, it's the heaviness that just kind of sticks around all day. Even for me, like if I'm walking upstairs or standing at work, it's just like, you can feel the inflammation and something just stuck. I started using them about 2 months ago. Honestly, it's not the longest time in the world. I used to think they were just a luxury thing, but after my first few sessions, I was shocked at the difference it made. The next morning, my legs felt so much lighter, felt like the inflammation just dropped off. I had a better bounce in my runs, less stiffness. I really didn't expect to feel like that different that fast. I use them about 3 to 4 times a week, usually after a really hard workout or of course a long run. And I'll just throw them on for about like 25, 30 minutes while stretching or just chilling at home at night. And when I skip them, I definitely notice. I feel like my calves are tighter and the recovery just drags on longer. One thing I didn't expect was how much of a difference the boots made during my peak week. That's usually when my legs are the most fragile, and like one bad night of sleep or one missed recovery day and everything's out of whack, and I just don't feel ready for the race. But these compression boots have become such a staple part of my evening wind down routine, not just for the recovery, but for the routine as well. I'll put them on while I'm reviewing my training logs, planning the next day, reading a book, watching TV. They're really actually very comfortable to wear as well. Normally after a hard session the next day with these boots, it's like they flush that heaviness out, and it's not just a physical aspect either, it's also a mental reset. Like I know I did something good to help my body bounce back, and I feel great for doing that. Honestly, it definitely helps out a lot on the days where motivation is low. We've all had those days. Or maybe it's just one of those days where I'm like questioning the grind, or it's just like I'm having a hard time getting out there. But if you're putting in serious volume or trying to train in a smarter way, I personally think it's definitely worth investing in as many recovery tools as you can and pick the ones that actually make sense and actually support the type of activity or lifestyle that you have.
So what does the research actually say? There are studies showing that intermittent pneumatic compression, that's what compression boots use, improve blood flow, reduces swelling, and helps flush out metabolic waste. There's even a study on endurance athletes showing that the athletes used compression therapy. Those athletes had lower markers of muscle damage and inflammation post-workout. All of this isn't guessing. These are actually measurable results, and I'll link the studies in the description below. So here's the honest breakdown. Improves circulation and recovery. Compression boots are easy to use while working, or you can use them while relaxing. They feel like a light massage for your legs. It's all passive recovery, and it's really great if you're really busy. Now, on the flip side, the cost. Quality boots aren't cheap. They are also not a replacement for proper sleep and nutrition. And if you overuse them, it can actually blunt out some natural adaptation. See, you actually need some inflammation in your body for it to get stronger. So the bottom line, compression boots are a legitimate tool for circulation. So as you've seen from my friend Lexi and her sharing her experience, she's a runner, she's putting in lots of work and lots of miles every week. Or maybe you're not even a runner. Maybe your thing is CrossFit, or maybe you just travel a lot, or maybe you're just always on your feet. And if you are a runner, they absolutely give you an edge. Now, all of this is assuming that you're already training well, your nutrition is on point, and you're also prioritizing your sleep. Lexi, who I interviewed in this video, she's not using them as a crutch. She's being smart. She's using them as a recovery tool, as they should be. So if you're curious about more recovery tech and wellness tools, things like infrared sauna blankets, PEMF mats, and maybe red light therapy, I go through a full breakdown on my website, which I'll link below. So compression boots for circulation, do they actually work? Yes, they absolutely do. And that's especially true if you're a runner and you need that extra boost in recovery. If you got any value out of this video, please hit the like button. And maybe if you're on the fence about using compression boots, or maybe you've used them in the past, comment below and let's have a conversation.